Hi, welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. So, today's message, I actually channeled these messages a few days ago. I like to sometimes sit with the messages. So, today we're going to go into these messages. It's about conscious choices. I feel like this is kind of a continuation from the previous message. Conscious choices. So these are collective messages about conscious choices. I heard taking flight. So many of you are taking flight. Making the most of your potential. Tapping into your zone. For some of you, your zone of genius. Like that Kanye song, Don't Let Me Get in My Zone. Like some of you are coming into this zone of where you're taking flight. You're going inward, recognizing that the answers lie within. That's why this feels like a continuation of the last message. A lot of that message was about not taking outside guidance so much, but receiving the guidance from within. And so, as you're receiving this guidance from within, as you're going within, many of you are uncovering like superpowers, potent power. We're in this month of November, Scorpio, eighth house energy, Plutonian energy, profound transformation, change, big change, taking flight type of change, right? And so, as a lot of you are tapping into this power, this inner strength within, it's allowing you to use these strengths to grow yourself, to have this transformation, to have this change. But this transformation that you're receiving, that you're going through, is also inspiring others. Okay? So it's like you're tapping into power and primal energy. This primal energy is allowing you to embrace your wild, untamed side, the fierce, determined side of you. That energy that keeps you enduring, tapping into creativity that allows you to endure, tapping into courage that is strong and active. So many of you are in the early stages of evolving, of evolutionary development. And that's where these conscious choices are coming from. As you're tapping into this vitality and health. Vitality and health, not only metaphorically, but literally, physically. So for some of you, if you've been feeling ill, there is like this energy of healing that's there. Some of you have been doubting if you're on the right track because of these transformations, this change that's happening for you. And it's like the universe is saying, yes, you're on the right track. You have momentum. You have this primal force of steady persistence. I'm hearing that song. There's no stopping you now. Hey, you're on the move. So some of you are on the move, taking flight. I kept hearing that, taking flight. Through whatever tough time you've had, this transition, this change is allowing for a happy resolution for a lot of you. but it does feel unfamiliar. So, this unfamiliar path that you're embarking on, this change, this transformation, for a lot of you, it's a very powerful transformation, but it's like this path that you're embarking on is going through this transformation, is allowing you to go through this transformation, is allowing this energy of alchemy, accessing this energy of alchemy. There's this essence of needing to let go of expectations because this is unknown to you. Some of you may be in the essence of fear, questioning, doubting even. And that's why there's this encouragement of you being on the right track. Because nothing is as it seems. There's this essence of nothing being as it seems. You're changing. Things are changing. Your identity is changing. Your energy is changing. Change, right? With this change, many of you can and will surpass anything you've dreamed of. Can and will surpass how you've known it to be in many aspects of your life, in family, in relationships, in business, in self. The biggest part of this, the most vital, important part of this, is that you're ready, willing, and able to receive this change as it's occurring. Ready, willing, and able to be prepared for this change. And you say, how do you prepare, Tonae? How do you prepare for something that's unknown? How do you prepare for change? You do it in the essence of gratitude, being thankful for the opportunity to go through this change, being thankful for change happening, being thankful for persistence, being thankful to receive, being thankful for healing. As this change is happening, as you guys are going through transformation, give yourself time. Give yourself time for meditation, prayer and or meditation. Give yourself time for gratitude, to be thankful of even the littlest of things. Sometimes change, transformation can feel uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable simply because it's unknown. Be thankful even for the unknown. It allows you to grow, to evolve, to, I don't want to say test your abilities, but yes, even test your abilities as you're expanding. Many of you will actually be in the energy of celebration when you reflect back on this transformation and this change. Making the most of your potential, making the most of your potential, making the most of this change, making the most and giving thanks for your potential, making the most and giving thanks for this transformation. There's this energy of the divine being able to use anyone and anything. And that's what's unknown to you. Using it to advanced cycles in your life, everything goes through a cycle. Life flows through cycles. So many of you are in this cycle now of transformation. But what's important is for you to take time to reflect on what cycle of life you're in. Is it a cycle where you're needing to give more attention and time to your family? A cycle of life where you're needing to give more time and or attention to yourself, self-care? Is it a cycle where you may need to focus most of your energy on being alone to discover your purpose? What cycle are you in? What is this cycle showing you? Is it a cycle of where you're recognizing your inner and outer beauty? And this inner and outer beauty is also more like on a spiritual level. Yes, physical beauty, great. But spiritually, because of this transformation, a lot of you are recognizing your your inner strengths. Sorry, pause. Okay, we're back. So I was saying that many of you are in cycles. Is it a cycle of healing? Cycle of joy? Cycle of peace? What cycle are you in? And for those of you that are recognizing that you're in a cycle of healing where you're deepening your energetic awareness by tapping into life force energy and using this energy to abound along with focused intentions, focus to release, focus to know that anything is possible. What cycle are you in? Many of you with these cycles are extending your awareness, expanding the margins of your awareness, expanding your boundaries for what is possible. Where you may have had limiting beliefs before, you're now more open. There's this openness to being limitless, that anything is possible. In this new energy of feeling that anything is possible, many of you may revisit situations and see them from a broader perspective. Because now you have a higher perspective of things, you're able to see how and why certain things played out the way that they did. And how, for many of you, it assisted you and allowed you to grow, to elevate your vibration, and to be able to have this more focused intention, this intending to focus on the cycle that you're in, to be in the present moment. Not so much worried about what went wrong, but seeing it from a broader perspective. Many of you, or there's this essence of having the ability to align with a fresh new perspective, with a timeline that is inspired by wholeness. What cycle are you in? The better you become at identifying what cycle you're in, the more flow and harmony you'll experience in the choices that you make. because you'll recognize, okay, this is my winter season and or cycle, or I'm now in spring. Again, pause. So we're back again, and some of you may feel like that. There is no coincidences. Every time you get going on a cycle of life, there feels like there's this pause where you have to stop and then reflect on where it is this cycle is taking you, or there's some minute interruption. There is no coincidences. I'm not stopping the video. It is going to continue. That's a message for someone, okay? Take it as it resonates. Anyway, to reiterate, the better you become at identifying the cycle that you're in, the more flow and harmony you will experience in the choices that you make. There's this essence to remain and remember to be kind and unattached from the outcomes income. Maybe you guys are expecting certain income for some of you, but to be unattached from the outcome, to just allow things to flow. And as it's flowing and as you're going through these transformations, to not be so hard on yourself and not be so hard on others. Remember, as you're having this transformation, many of you are able to now see from a higher, broader perspective and see how certain things played out and why they played out from the way that they did. And then if you're not, then maybe that's the cycle you're in for a time of reflection. As you're having this time of reflection, as you're in this transformation, remember the cycle of gratitude and remember to look for what's right in the world, what's good. You'll see it, and then you'll call more of that goodness into you. Even if you feel like you're in a cycle where it's dark, there are so many interruptions. I need to free up this space to select data, maybe automatically deleted. I'm almost done with this. This is a brief message. But many of you, you have the power of your mind to choose. You have the power of your mind to choose what cycle you're choosing to focus on. Even if you recognize that you're in one cycle, transformation and change happens. So you can change your confirmation. You can change your mind. You can always make a new choice, a better choice, a choice from a higher perspective. This isn't going to be easy if it's not a skill you've been able to integrate easily. But the more you do anything like a muscle, it becomes more easy to accomplish. Something or some of you may feel, because I get heart chakra energy, that you've been blocked from certain things, or you're coming out of this cycle of being blocked, coming out of a cycle of blaming others, or recognizing that you're in a cycle of blaming others and there needs to be some heart chakra balancing, harmonizing, that healing process. Some of you are in a cycle of letting go of past regrets, letting go of past resentments. And if you're not, then this is the cycle where you enter into that healing phase so that growth can happen, so that you can break through. With this past resentment and or blaming others, there's this essence to be neutral with yourself, neutral with your emotions, a neutral advisor to self and or others. As the neutral advisor, you're holding space for self as you're going through this transformation, holding space for others, holding space for others to find their own answers. Hence, being the neutral advisor. It's okay to lend a listening ear, but it's in the essence to listen and observe, to be unbiased, and allow others to find their own answers. Because their answers will come from within, just as your answers come from within. Being a neutral advisor, being unbiased, listening and observing. Open-minded and fair. Open-minded and fair. Neutral advisor. Unbiased. Listen. Observe. And that's because many of us are entering into unknown parts. It's their journey to enter into the unknown parts of our psyche, the unknown parts of our shadow. And entering in the unknown is not always an easy task. But entering into the unknown parts of ourselves to find exactly what we need to grow in peace, to cultivate self-fulfillment and happiness. There's this essence of honoring the light that comes from the darkness, from that going within. And remembering that even the darkest beginnings can move into the essence of light. It's a process. It's a process. And the challenge is to trust. Trust that you will arise from the dark places. For those of you who feel as though you're in a cycle of darkness, for those of you who willingly enter into the dark, your shadow, to explore, to expose, to balance it out with your light and your dark. We all have those aspects. Trust that you will arise from the dark place again. You won't get sucked in and just be stuck in there. If anything, you'll gain more clarity, more insight, more balance, and more harmony. That inner work, that shadow work, precedes you having a beautiful rebirth. Death to the parts of you that you were not willing to acknowledge, and bringing it into the light for a rebirth. Allowing yourself to grow and to keep growing. Allowing yourself to grow and to keep growing. Noticing where you may have been judging yourself and or others. That's a part of doing that inner work. Because if you're in constant judgment of yourself, you will have a tendency to stifle your growth, feeling like you can't do something, not seeing the endless opportunities that are there and present for you, not able to choose life from a place of your heart because you're in judgment of yourself. And more times than not, when you're in judgment of yourself, you're possibly judging others as well. Instead of being in that place of judgment, choose the endless possibilities. Anything is possible. Choose the endless opportunities. The opportunity to choose life from the place of your heart. The opportunity to choose compassion and integrity. Noticing the judgment of self and or others is the quickest way to get in touch with the shadow self. And this message is coming forth because we're in this essence of Scorpio. And Scorpio, when this video is being recorded, but whenever you receive this video, it is a timeless message. But as we're in this season of Scorpio, it calls forth that energy of taking a deeper dive, to tapping into the shadow, to bringing light to those aspects that you normally just push under the rug, brush to the side, don't really want to tap into. As you're getting in touch with this shadow, you'll be able to know where you're having reactions, where you're reactive and or judgmental. That's for some of you. But whether it's positive judgments and or negative judgments, there's this essence of it being a part of your psyche where you're wishing to grow and express yourself. Where your psyche, your shadow is wanting to express itself. Express yourself and allowing yourself to be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself as you're expressing, tapping into seeing where there's judgment, where there's shame, where there's guilt, where there's doubt, where there's anger, where there's fear, where there's jealousy. So that you can then move into this energy with strength as you unwrap those hidden parts of your shadow. Be kind to yourself. Allow those feelings to come up. Allow them to come up. Allow them to pass. Allow them to be explored and exposed. With a willingness to bring more balance, more harmony, more peace to yourself. And as you do that with self, you then bring more balance, more harmony, more peace to those around you. Trusting and allowing the circumstances to unfold. Trusting and allowing your shadow to express. Allowing those emotions to come up. Exploring those emotions that are usually hidden. Tapping into the hidden parts of self. Because many of you are outgrowing old aspects of yourself. And until you recognize these shadow aspects, until you explore these darker parts of self, it presents a hurdle towards this unfoldment, towards this releasing and outgrowing the old aspects. leaving the fear behind, leaving the shame behind, leaving the guilt behind, leaving behind jealousy, leaving behind shame, outgrowing it. And this doesn't have to be super dramatic changes like, ooh, transformation. No, for some, it's going to happen very subtly. Very confirmation. Very subtle, because even small changes, a small change of not gossiping, a small change of choosing to engage in choosing to not engage in non-constructive arguments. Choosing to smile more, choosing to be more creative, choosing to love more, choosing to laugh more. Choice. You can change your mind at any time. The change comes when you explore those darker aspects of you. Why are you gossiping? Why are you not smiling as much? Why are you willing to engage in non-constructive arguments? We've all done it. I've done it. Are you also willing to go within and see why we're willing to engage in certain aspects of the shadow? How certain aspects of the shadow are actually playing a part in the decisions you make? Seeing the full spectrum. Remember that as you're raising your vibration, as you're seeing the full spectrum, sometimes what works for someone else may not necessarily work for you. That's the energy of going within, so you can figure out what does work for you, why certain things in your shadow create that cause of certain things in your shadow create certain effects. And now choosing to release that which no longer serves your higher vibration, that which has held you back in fear, in a poverty consciousness for some, like you can't have certain things, you're not worthy of certain things. Releasing that. Releasing illness, codependency. Release it and set yourself free to be more loving, more peaceful, more empowered. More able to honor yourself and the full spectrum of yourself. Stepping out of the black and white mentality of everything being good or bad, or has to be this way to the left or this way to the right, but a full spectrum. Honoring the full spectrum of life. We have ups, we have downs, we have ins, we have outs, we have left, we have right, and we do have middle. A full spectrum. When we tend to judge things and see it only from one part of the spectrum, we create a story around it. And then often these stories become limiting beliefs or become very limiting. Over a lifetime, we subconsciously gather so much, so many stories. It's now time to release the limiting beliefs, the limiting stories, and create space. Create space for miracles, miraculous healing, miraculous endless opportunities, miraculous creations, embracing creation. The full spectrum. I have a little thing I'm going to read, and you're welcome to do this as you honor the full spectrum of self. It says, I now choose to release that which no longer serves my vibration, that which has held me back in fear and or poverty consciousness, in illness or depletion or codependency. I release it and I set myself free to be more of me in love, peace, and power. So be it. I honor this commitment to myself. I will allow raising my vibration to be my priority. I give myself full permission to do this now in loving service to my soul and to the planet, to step into a full spectrum of being. So be it. It's a little mantra. You can choose to use it or not as you've received this message and you're recognizing what cycles you're in. Recognizing these cycles will assist you to fully being able to step into the full spectrum of your life, of a higher vibration of your life. This has been your message for today. I'd like to thank you for joining me, Tonae Star, here at Tonae Star Enterprises. And remember to always shoot for the moon. And even if you miss, you're still amongst the stars. And, of course, always let your light shine bright. Do what? Let your light shine bright. Always let your light shine bright. Do what? Let your light shine bright. Thank you for joining me. Step into the cycle of being in the full spectrum of your life. Peace, harmony, love, and joy.